So I'm gonna change out the FEP on my vet from my Elegoo 3D Mars printer, Mars 2 Pro to be exact. There's a little hole here, so I cannot use it again, otherwise the resin will go onto my screen, and that's not what I want. I saw a lot of videos already on this subject online, but I also thought that a lot of people still had questions about it. So I thought, just, well, I have to change it anyway, make the video. So what you do is pretty straightforward, everything. You're gonna unscrew everything. So make sure you have the right tools. They are delivered with your printer. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, and we're gonna go fast forward so you guys can see how it works. So you just saw me unscrew that first part, and as you can see, then here's your vat. We're gonna put that aside for now, and you're gonna turn around your FEP. As you can see, there are way more screws over here, so we're gonna get those loose. So you just saw me unscrew everything. What you're gonna do is get your frame, put it aside for a minute, and as you can see, this is my old FEP, which is broken. There's a hole in it. The rest, it really looks pretty awesome still, so it's really a shame of that one little hole, but better safe than sorry. So I'm gonna throw this one away. What I'm gonna do, well, I'm already having everything, you know, not together anymore. So I'm gonna clean this with some isopropanol, so everything will be clean when I put in the new FEP. So as you can see, I'm gonna use the 3-day Jake isopropanol to clean all the separate parts. Just get a little bit on a cloth. Nothing spectacular, and just, you know, rub it on your frame. The same for the other piece here. You know, this is way easier to clean it when everything's apart, so why not just do it? And as you can see, alcohol really, you know, it dries really fast. And the other way, of course. And while I'm at it, just let's, you know, clean the vat. As you can see, there will always be a little resin, you know, on the vat in between the FEP, as you can see here. It doesn't go anywhere, which is obviously the idea. So just let me check if everything is to clean the way I want it before we put everything back together. We put that aside for a minute, because I think I can still see a little bit of resin on here. It's really white, as you can see. So I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and be back with you to put back in the FEP. So the frame, the vat, everything's ready, and as you can see, here's a new FEP, and I'm gonna open that up. It's always nice that they put a sticker on there, do not throw away the FEP. I cannot imagine people doing it, but it's nice to have a warning. So as you can see here, this is the FEP, which still has the protective layers on it, which should be removed, obviously. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the frame back in here, like this, as you can see. This is about 1 centimeter high. I will show you. And it's soft, so it will not damage my FEP. And that's, for me, that obviously that's the most important. So what we're gonna do now is get that protective film off the FEP. And that's always a little bit of an issue, but it will be fine. Just need to have a little patience. And I'm gonna do that off camera, otherwise you're gonna see me, you know, trying to get this off. So as you can see, this is the first piece of the protective film. And obviously we have the same on the other side, which also should be removed. Just like this. And in the middle of 2 of those protective sheets, you have your FEP. And you're just gonna place it like this on that sponge. And try to get it a little bit, you know, in the middle, so you have room and space on all sides. Yep. And it's really as simple as just put this back on, as you can see. Put the 2 frames back together, and you're gonna screw all those little screws back in. What you're gonna do is you start in a corner, and you're just gonna need to have a little bit of pressure, otherwise you're not gonna go through that FEP. As you saw, it's in between the frame. So what I do is I just leave it not too tight yet. I'll do the corners first. And the best thing in the corners is do the other corner diagonal from the one you just did. So that's gonna be this one. And just don't screw it too tight, just, you know, so you still have some room. And that you're gonna do with this one. Just get it in there. Right, and the last corner. So, okay, as you can see, this is how it is right now. What I'm gonna do next is get all the screws in, just, you know, like over here, and then over here, so the tension gets even. I'm gonna fast forward that again, so you don't have to watch me do all the screws. So you just saw me put all those little screws back. They're not in screwed real tight. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Just, you know, and I'm gonna do that in the same order, like the corners first. Just make sure they're tight, but don't overdo it. And this will, you know, tighten up your FEP. So that's what you do with all the screws. So all the screws are tight. What I'm gonna do next is remove these sponges, put them aside, and as you can maybe still see, maybe not, but the FEP is not tight like a drum yet. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna cut off these sides with a sharp razor blade. For me, that's gonna be this. And I'm just gonna go along the side with the knife. Make sure it's really sharp. So along all the edges. So what I'm gonna do next is just check out the corners. Just cut off that little straight corner you got left over from that cutting. And what you're gonna do next is you're gonna turn it over. You're gonna get your FEP. Sorry, your vat, and you're gonna lay this down just like this. And you're probably gonna think like, oh, that's not gonna fit. It will. You just need a little bit of pressure. Take your tool, and again, the screws, and what you do is, again, first here, here, you know, opposite from each other. And this takes a little bit of pressure. The first time I did this, I was sure it didn't work. But just a little pressure so it gets through the FEP. And in the first, you know, the first screws I put in, I do not tighten them too much. Just all that there are in the vat, like this. And don't be scared to push it, because the first time I did this, I was really scared of, you know, something would happen to the FEP. And if you do this a little bit more often, you get a little bit handier in it. And as you can see, everything still moves. The frame is still not really nice into the vat, but that will work when we put everything together in a minute. Just first get those screws through your FEP. As you can feel it, you know, it goes through. And really, it doesn't matter how you do this, because the important thing is when you're gonna screw it really tight, that you make sure you do that evenly. And for now, it's still, you know, not looking great, but it will. And all you people out there who are doing this for the first time, don't be scared. I think, well, you know, I can say it, but I think everybody's scared doing this the first time. Just scared to do something wrong, scared to ruin your FEP, you know. Make sure you don't stick your tool into your FEP. Otherwise, you can start from scratch and you can throw away your FEP. So, you know, a little bit careful, gentle, and it will be fine. So this is going to be the last one. Here we go. So everything is through the FEP, and now we're gonna try, you know, to get it into the screws and just push it a little. Just push it down a little, and then just screw it a little. Screw it a little. That sounds really weird. Not too much, just a little. Every one of them. Just go around. And I don't think you guys can see it on the screen, but the FEP's already tightening up. You can hear it. So now you have done this. The FEP's, you know, it's okay, but still you need to go around and give everything a little twist. Little turn, just make sure you do it the right way. Like this. And again, don't overdo this. You know, don't do it that tight that you go like, oh my God. It's better that it, you know, you do it a few times and then go back and just do it again. It's just a matter of, it's just, I think you just have to feel a little bit on this. And again, that first time you're going crazy. I can promise you that. But I can also promise you it will get easier with each time you do this. So let me get this done and I'll be back with you. So all the screws are screwed in evenly, which means it should be in here tight and sound like a drum, which it does. I love this sound. So the new FEP is in, and as you can see, yeah, yes, that's how I test it. If you talk into it, you get something like an echo if you did it the right way. I think you can understand and hear this on camera. It sounds really weird what I'm doing, but if you hear this sound, your FEP's in correctly. So guys, this was it for changing out your FEP, and I can say, you know, fill up that vat with resin and happy printing. Let's go! There was almost one thing I forgot to tell you guys. What I always do when I'm done, because, you know, there's always some fat in your fingerprints. If you touch the FEP or anything like that, the thing I always do before I go back to my printing is just, you know, clean it one more time with some isopropanol or, you know, some soap with water, also possible. So as you can see, a very clean FEP, which is ready to do its magic. And just let this dry for a little bit. And as you can see, I can show you now, the frame is in even on all sides. So now it's ready for printing. So why not just show you, which you probably already know, is you place back the vat and you have a nice frame in there where it fits. Tighten those little bolts over here. Make sure it's tight. As you can see here, it's in, and what I do is I will cover it for now, because I will have to print a little bit later, and I'm gonna clean up this one, and I'm ready for printing. So That was it, guys.